Howdy, partners, and welcome to Dinner and a Show. This here's Brian.
And I'm Tanner.
And we're here to review the last of the Back to the Future movies. Back to the Future Part 3.
Oh, okay, you sound like Bill Cosby there.
Yeah, that was
You're
starting to sound like Bill
You're going way out
Cosby.
of character here.
For dinner, Tanner's got some cookies from Chips Ahoy, not a sponsor. And then I have it's actually a chicken sausage. And we got another Kroger sugar soda, Cola Time.
Oh.
Also not a sponsor, but these are actually pretty good.
What does it taste like?
Coca-Cola with sugar.
Oh, good.
Back to the Future Part 3 is the last movie. We finally finished them. And no, there's not going to be a Back to the Future 4.
Mm-hmm.
The worst that can come up is a remake of Back to the Future. And I don't want that. Not at all. So, Back to the Future Part 3, it was filmed right alongside Back to the Future Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
Probably I don't know if it was one of the first films to utilize that, but it definitely was strategic in this sense with time travel and all.
And pretty much all they knew was what these sequels coming out is going to be like a trilogy. They didn't want to wait as long as people waited for the Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, because every Star Wars movie, except until now, it's been every 3 years, and you get a Star Wars movie. I mean, now that Disney bought it, it's every year. But I digress. What'd you think of it?
Well, I like it. It's my second favorite out of the trilogy. I mean, obviously, the first was one of my favorite movies of all time, so it's like nothing's going to top that one. But I really, really enjoy Part 3. I think it has the heart that was missing in Part 2 is brought back with Part 3, especially when it comes to the romance. It's a really sweet romance between Doc and Clara, played by Mary Steenburgen, and they're really sweet together. They have great chemistry together. I love watching these two, and I really feel for them. That is where the heart lies in this movie.
Yeah, I would say I really enjoyed this too. Definitely more than Part 2. Yeah, definitely there was a lot more development between Marty, Doc, even Clara for her limited time. Mm-hmm. Just the town is just fun. I love westerns anyway. They're kind of a thing. If it's a western movie, I'm usually a sucker for them, even if they're awful.
And the movie has a lot of fun, especially when it plays with western conventions. It even has Pat Butcherman and Harry Carey Jr. like right there in the saloon, and they're sitting together, they're talking. You recognize that one guy's voice.
If people don't know who they are, who are they?
Check IMDb.
Yeah, there you go. I think one of the guys that you mentioned was the voice of the Sheriff of Nottingham in Robin Hood, and he was that Napoleon Bloodhound in Aristocats.
But he was already well known at the time for being in westerns. I just
of course,
those animated movies.
Of course, yeah. Us little '90s kids, we grew up with that stuff.
Yeah.
Grew up with Aristocats and Robin Hood. Everyone's back, everyone, like all the actors, they're dressed as their ancestors. So you have Marty or Michael J. Fox dressed as his not only Marty McFly, but as his Sean McFly or something like
Seamus
that.
McFly.
Seamus McFly. I was close.
Great. I don't know how many greats grandfather.
He's a great grandfather, an Irishman that came over and immigrated to the west into Hill Valley.
Maggie, fetch some water. We've got the Hertzman here.
Yeah, it was great. Still, I think the camera was pretty clever and just how they were able to get those shots of Marty
especially
playing
when
both.
Marty crashes through the fence and then it tilts up just to reveal Seamus, played by Michael J. Fox again, and it's like, I wonder how they did that.
Yeah, it was incredible.
He's right there, then he's just right there.
It's like, yeah, it still makes you think, which is great. Yeah, camera had a lot of shots. I think one of my favorite shots, I don't know why, was the train coming up while Clara was waiting on the dock or the station. Say dock. That's a ship.
I think they're I think they're trying to pay homage to that very old film from the 1890s where it's like a train just pulling into a station. You know the one I'm talking about. That one short film where people didn't know what a movie was and they were scared that the train was going to hit them.
Oh yeah. This was when film was first getting its feet wet.
Yeah.
But I remember that. Yeah, that was really good.
And obviously homage to the
yeah.
Great Train Robbery as well. Like the
Exactly.
climax is all about
Mhm.
taking hold of a train and trying to control it.
It's not a robbery. It's a science experiment.
Well, true.
So everyone's back. I think the makeup, I would say give the makeup artist credit. They did a really good job of making everyone look somewhat familiar, but not recognizable enough to where it's distracting.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for Mad Dog Tannen.
The Biff's ancestor.
Yeah, Biff's ancestor way back in the day. I feel sorry for Biff's family. He just gets all the bad people. He's like, there's not a single good Tannen in the family. But yeah, I couldn't really recognize him. Like the makeup was so good, like the dirt on his face, the beard, the mustaches. Like that is the same guy who played Biff.
I know.
I'm just like, wow. So that was really good. I mean, you have some others, like the principal. He played the marshal. I forget his name. The actor's name.
Oh, crap. What is his name? I knew his name. Jeffrey. No.
Go IMDb
Tolkien?
it. He's really good. I said, but he has
killed
hair.
off in a deleted scene, by the way.
He's killed off. What?
Yeah, and like, I think Mad Dog shoots him, and his dying words to his son are, "Remember, son, discipline. Remember that word." I will, Paul.
I'm glad they took it out.
Yeah.
Because he was funny.
That's why he didn't show up at the end to arrest Mad Dog and his gang.
Oh, because they shot him.
Yeah. And some other guy come in to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, it's just Marty coming to grips with, like having to come up against like people who are real jerks and always going to give him a hard time. It's basically like how he's going to react to it. It's going to make him the person that he is. It's going to help develop his future in a better way.
Yeah,
he's still in that chicken.
Yeah, that whole chicken thing
complex
that they made up so that he could have some character, whatever, flaw in the second movie. It was kind of forced, but you know what? I'll give him credit for at least resolving it in this movie.
He does learn like not to care what other people say, and the reason he doesn't go out there is not because like people are going to think he's a coward otherwise, but so he can save Doc, and that's really good.
Yeah, there's something at stake when he
becomes a hero.
Yeah,
for all the right reasons.
Yeah, there's something at stake when he is selfish enough to try and keep his reputation, I guess, as this cool character, not giving in to fear, or not being, a chicken.
And this kid's a good role model.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for the most part, he's a pretty good role model, standing up for yourself, and just not being afraid of other people. I think you kind of touched on Doc's character. He actually has some growth and stuff.
I love his first interactions with Clara. He's so absent-minded. He's like, I'm not even sure that he even knows like what exactly he's saying, because like he knows that there's like this mission at hand, and he like always forgets it whenever he's with her, because that is what love will do to a person.
Yeah, he was just like,
love at first sight.
It's like, love is totally not rational. I'm not from this time period. It'll destroy the time continuum.
And Marty says, no, love just hits you. It's like lightning. It's not science.
And when he sees Clara, well,
it's just like
it just struck him like lightning, and apparently her too. That was pretty funny. I was really glad that Doc had some stuff to do, because the second one, it was kind of, it was just there, and it was mostly Marty.
Yeah.
Around. Doc didn't really do much. He's like, hey, Marty, do this, don't do that, space-time continuum. Here, he's actually got a side plot to do. He's happy there, and he's trying to decide whether he wants to stay in the past or go back to the present.
He's got more character.
Yeah, so it's great. So I think Back to the Future 3 made up for what lacked in the second one.
Yeah.
In terms of character development, they did a great job. I'll say that. Did a great job. Some of it kind of felt distracted to the plot or to the main storyline, but not too much. We're having fun, and it was really cool. I don't really think there was anything huge that bothered me. Maybe there was some logical stuff that got in there. It's like, I mean, they're just silly though. like Doc and Marty wearing masks to rob a train when they're about to disappear to the present.
It's a Western thing.
No, I know. It's just, I know you have to do it. It was just kind of funny. It's like you think about that. It's like, they don't really have to do that if they're never going to be seen again.
It's a Western thing.
Yeah, but it's a Western. Don't listen to me.
I can't think of that much that I really dislike. I mean, like, I usually fast forward or just like walk out of the room like when it gets to the scene where like Doc has to tell Clara the truth that he's a time traveler and he has to leave. Not because it's bad though, but because it's just so sad. It really works.
Okay, now that you kind of have my mind gears rolling, I kind of thought, the love story just seemed a little rushed.
Yeah, they only know each other for like.
Yeah, I mean it's
24 hours.
Literally love at first sight, and they're doing everything like so fast. I'm just like,
well,
it's like really slow down.
It's like Jules Verne.
So they love Jules Verne. I mean
that's pretty much
they
it.
got. I mean I'll give it credit for at least them having a conversation into.
Yeah.
It's not like they're like making out like as soon as they meet. It was just kind of a little sudden. I wish that they spent a little more time, developing them, having a little more conversation and stuff like that. I mean, but I guess they did a little bit. They had a dance. They had a talk about Jules Verne. They had, but it seemed like right after that he had to go and have a little confession that he's a time traveler. So it's like, I needed a little more before the acts, but.
You know what? I changed my mind. I think it was kind of a mistake. Like to sort of have that because it is a cliche that like that this person is keeping something from the other person. And the other person's going to find out about that, and they're going to be separated. They're going to mope, and they're going to get together at the end anyway. So like it's sort of stretching it out.
Yeah,
I don't really like.
But
that.
It was the '80s, or was it made in 1990?
Well, I mean, it was made in '89. It was released in '90.
Yeah, okay. So it was released in 90. So, yeah, the trope wasn't incredibly old yet.
To be fair, though, I love it when Doc is... he basically acts drunk, even though he just has a glass like in his hand. He hasn't drunken it yet, but he's just talking in a real monotone manner, talking about automobiles.
Yeah.
For recreation, for fun. And then what's to do when he finally takes that drink?
Plop! Oh gosh, that dude. If you can't hold your liquor, don't try it.
No.
They did do a few good callbacks from the previous films.
Yeah.
We discussed, Marty being knocked out and waking up to find out he's actually in the past. What? We have your diner scene, and the Mad Dog comes in. You have your, the bullies trying to get back.
It's like I said in the part 2 review. It's like history repeating itself.
Yeah, and so I mean but that's here. It just didn't. It wasn't too bad, or too obvious, I guess per se, because it's in a different setting.
Yeah,
it's not like literally going back to 1955 and just repeating the same stuff.
Or going back to 2015.
Yeah, and doing the same stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, it worked out. This movie, or actually these movies in general, like 2 and 3, I wouldn't mind watching with people. I would even consider them, canon or official, part of their, it's like, I mean, I won't ignore them.
No.
I'll still just own the first one because I know I'm going to watch that more than anything. But yeah, I would give my rating a good solid high 5.
I'd give it a high 5 too. I think it's really solid. It's very entertaining. The heart is back to the story. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah. And the future is blank. You make your future.
Now I can be a good guy. Or I can be one real mean son of a bitch. It's all up to you.
Well, I think that's all the time we have for today. We thank you for watching. Just tell us what you thought about this movie if you did watch it. Just comment below.
Son,
Make sure.
I think what we have here is a failure to communicate.
Well, let's make sure we don't have a failure of communicating here. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, share with your friends. We greatly appreciate that. I'm Brian.
And I'm Tanner.
And we will see you on the next
Tanner in a
video.
show.
Maybe this time we'll watch Sharknado 2.
Hopefully.
Alrighty.
I think you'd like that, wouldn't you?
I think they would.
Yeah.
Alright. We'll see you guys later.